All right, episode 27? I think it's
27. Wow.
27, Pure Flying. All right, awesome news. All right, I'm Dana J. Smithers, and I'm a certified emotion code diva. We're not certified to become divas, but Helene and I are we call ourselves emotion code divas because we feel that we've earned it, and we are kind of diva-like. We're just saying that's who we are. Get us on a stage, and we turn into major divas.
Love it.
Anyway, today's show going to be very interesting. I have someone who has a really high 10 fear of flying, and it wasn't so bad in her early years, in her early 20s, but since she's had children, total fear about dying when she's flying. So I'm going to be doing the emotion code session on her today. But Helene and I are all about educating and inspiring people that do have fears or phobias or trapped emotions. Helena will talk about her specialties as well. But I work with women in business who might be stuck. They want to move forward. But I'm a certified law of attraction trainer as well. So I work around relationships. Is it not working for you? Let's take a look at the mindset. What are you putting out there? What are you getting back? Because you'll hear us say this over and over and over and over. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, and you can't get away from it. Your thoughts are energy, your words are energy, and they carry a vibration to it. And if you're carrying all these negative emotions in your subconscious, which Helena is going to explain about, then you may not even be aware of what's really going on there, because often when Helena and I peel back the rose, we don't use onions, we're divas. Okay, we peel back the rose. And you get to that rosebud, and that's the essence of who you are. And that's where we want you to be, right? Is feeling just the purity and the lightness and the beauty. And that rose is often very symbolic of love and unconditional love. And when we're in a negative relationship and we're sending that out, well, that vibe is just going to that person. The same thing when you have a fear of flying, right? It's all about what is the energy and where's your attention going? Well, for this person, it starts, I think, probably when the ticket is purchased, right? And then the story builds up and up and up. And, Helene and I will talk about, the lemon. Well, why do you use a lemon? Well, a lemon for us is symbolic of a small trapped emotion in your body. So you can have many of these. They can be as big as a cantaloupe. You can have, joint pain. You can have migraines. You can have arthritis. You can have so many things that are actually symptomatic of your negative emotions, and they can actually appear very solid in your body and be very distressing to you. So, as I said, that's a little bit about me. I'm going to move the program over to Anita. And
That's
Anita,
your other friend. You had lunch with her just the other day.
that's
I know
right. And I was
Anita.
talking about you and how, you're going to do a session with her, which is awesome. Yeah, you're not Anita. And I'm meeting with Anahita this week as well. So, yeah, it's all about summertime and friends for me. But anyway, we are talking about the emotion code written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. So we're going to go through the simple technique with you, and then we'll talk about the education piece. And Helena has experience as a flight attendant, so she's going to talk about that. And what do they know? I mean, we don't want any of those flight attendants out there that have a fear of flying. All right, Helena, please introduce yourself, my dear.
Hi, I'm Helena Jenikin. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist and ex flight attendant who Dana actually attracted her flight attendant job, not in Canada, not in North
Oh,
America.
that's right. Yeah.
Yes, but I wanted to be a flight attendant so badly that I attracted one job, a contract in Saudi Arabia. I was a flight attendant for Saudi Airlines, a beautiful, beautiful airline. And on my flight over to my training in Toronto, I was so scared because I'd only been on a plane once before. I was so nervous and scared of flying. But after my training, I was calm as a cucumber.
Hmm.
So when I am working with my clients, I attract a lot of men and women who want to stop smoking. I am the stopsmokinglady.com. And also I work with people that want to release weight. And I'm also now specializing in hypnodontics, which is
Hmm.
overcoming the fear of the dentist or your dental appointment, different
Yeah.
things all around dentist and oral health and things like that. It's a fascinating subject.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way the emotion code and hypnosis, different types of energy healing as well work, or it's just phenomenal. I've been studying a lot of Reiki lately, and I'm going to be taking a few courses in it, but I've been studying it just on my own for a while, and the it's everything is about the energy, right? It's all about the energy. So, Helena, why don't we just go ahead and dive right into what we're talking about today, and we'll just walk people through because we know sometimes we have first-time viewers, which we love to have. So please do share this, and also, you can always watch the replay. You can catch us on the Emotion Code or TEC Divas, this Facebook page, or our YouTube channels. And if you're new to it, we're just going to walk you through some of the key points that we go through and the key areas that we touch on before we actually do the emotion code session. And actually, this is the first couple of ones are the same way that we do distance healing for Reiki. So the first one, we can't use this emotion code on anyone until we have their permission. So tell us about that, Helena. Why can't
Right.
I just, I see someone in the street that's hobbling. Why can't I just, let me just do a session, right? What's wrong with that?
We don't have their permission. And so we need a conscious permission, like, yes, you can work on me energetically, or we can get the permission of a guardian adult for their child and or their animal.
Exactly. So once we have their permission, and this again is, of course, the same as it is for, like I said, doing any kind of distance healing, right? That we need to become their what's called proxy. So
Their
just explain
proxy.
that, Helena. Yeah.
Yeah. So their proxy is giving us the right and ability to ask their subconscious mind direct questions. In this case, when we were doing the emotion code, we're asking yes or no uh, questions that can be answered with yes and no. So yeah, and what's wonderful is I see a lot of people in my office face to face, and I still use the method that we're going to be talking about. And we can also do this over video, over
Hmm.
email, telephone, all these different ways. It's once we have their proxy and we can tap into their subconscious mind, we're good to go.
Exactly. And so what we're asking people when we're working with them is something that's called the severity. So in the case today, the person I'm working on, Dawn, um, she's in her kind of mid 40s right now. So when we look at her severity when she was younger, it was probably a 6, 7. As she's gotten older, it's it's going beyond that 10. So how does that work, Helena? And how do we check that just to make sure we're getting the right assessment there?
Right. So when we ask our clients their severity level, we're looking for, first of all, for a conscious answer, 10 being high, 1 being low. And we ask the client that number. In this case, it's a 10 or a 10 plus.
Hmm.
And next, what we're going to do is once we tap into their subconscious mind and we are doing the work, we ask the subconscious mind for the severity level. And sometimes it's the same number, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's not. So as we're doing the work, we're asking the subconscious mind where we are. Our intention is to lower that number and um, hopefully get to a 0.
Right, exactly. So we're going to show a little bit different muscle testing next because, Helena, why don't you talk about the subconscious? Do you have that iceberg
I
video
do
or
have
not
the ice.
video chart there? Yeah.
I do. The subconscious. So
Yeah.
the subconscious is, I like to use this image as an iceberg because Iceberg has, like 5 to 10% of it showing above water, and the rest of the iceberg is underneath the water. Very similar to the conscious and subconscious mind. Now, we think that the conscious mind is in charge. It's like when we make a decision, we're being very logical, analytical, we're using our willpower, we're planning, but something happens because it's the subconscious mind that's actually in charge. And the subconscious mind is where our emotions lie, our habits, our memories. Every conversation is stored down in the subconscious mind. Now, not always do we have to have all the conversations bubbling up to the conscious mind.
Yeah.
That's for hypnosis. We can access those memories and those conversations. But yeah, that's where the emotions are stored. So if you have a fear of flying and you're consciously going, but the plane is safe, I feel good about the crew, I feel good about the plane, but still something's not sitting quite right, well, it's trapped in your subconscious mind.
Exactly. And we're also going to talk about it can be trapped in your subconscious mind. It may be your own negative trapped emotion, or you may have inherited it. So these things can come from someone else's generationally down the line, and I'll find that out with Dawn today whether or not that's the case. And so how we find out with any type of energy healing that involves muscle testing, Helena, you can maybe talk about the way that you normally muscle test, and Dr. Bradley Nelson has a lot in his book about different ways to muscle test.
Yes. So I have an agreement with my subconscious mind that when I link these two fingers together into a circle, and I think of the word yes, my fingers link together and they're stuck glued together. And when I think of the word no, they just simply pull apart. I don't have to pull very hard. I'm very practiced at this. I can just sense,
Yeah.
but it's amazing because when we're doing the work, we're asking to release negative trapped emotions, and we just look for it and release it. And that's how I do my muscle testing. But you have a way
Yeah,
to.
I do my muscle testing also with my hands and fingers, but since I've been doing the Reiki, I'm getting much more in tune with energy. So I have a pendulum here, and I picked this out in a New Age store. It's the one that appealed to me at the time because when you pick one, you want to pick one that you're attracted to, and sometimes they will start swinging towards you. I may get a different one with quartz in it because quartz is a better energy, um, moves energy more freely through it. So with the pendulum, this is how I'll do my muscle testing. So I was doing it earlier with Helena, and it got kind of crazy on me, but I'm just going to put it still. So all muscle testing, we are only looking for a yes or no answer. We're not looking for a story. We're not looking for advice. We can't, we're not psychic. Some people may be a medium. They may have that sacred gift of sensitivity. But if we're just muscle testing, we're just going for a yes or no. So for me, and we've shown you the muscle testing with the arm. You can put your arm out and somebody can put pressure on it. And my name is Dana, and my arm will stay up. And then if I said my name's Helena, my arm would go down. Well, you can do this with a pendulum as well. So I'll just see if it does anything. So I'm going to say my name is Dana, and I'll just give it a minute. And I'm just holding it still. So my name is Dana. Is my name Dana? Is my name Dana? Is my name Dana? Is my name Dana? And you can see it. Is my name Dana? So mine goes counterclockwise when it's a yes. It's different for other people, so that's why you have to test it. So my name is Dana. My name is Dana. Okay, now if I said my name is Helena, typically it goes back and forth. So my name is Helena. My name is Helena. My name is Helena.
Look at that.
My name is Helena. My name is Helena. My name is Helena. So the only reason I don't use the pendulum a lot is because I can do this a lot faster. So, but it does work. And as I say, I'm doing more Reiki, so I'm finding that this, again, just muscle testing, right? The energy is, it's positive or negative, so it's a yes or no answer. So once we've done the muscle testing, what are we muscle testing on, Helena?
We're muscle testing. We're looking for any negative trapped emotions that we can release that are causing the issue. And so I have this chart, and it's a chart that Dr. Bradley Nelson put together, and it has 60 emotions on it, divided into two columns, A and B, and then into 6 rows. And then so what we will do is we will ask, is there a negative trapped emotion that we can release today? Get an answer, yes. Is it in column A? Is it in column B? Is it in an odd row or an even row? And then we come down to like a cell of 5 emotions, and then we can individually test those. It makes it a lot quicker than asking every single emotion.
And I was just asking, does this emotion code chart work? That's a yes.
Yes,
That's a
it
yes. Wow.
really does work.
Fascinating. I might start using that more. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to find out what Dawn's trapped emotions are. And then what we're going to do is we need to release the trapped emotion, right? We become their proxy, so we got to go ahead and release it. So Helena and I both have different types of magnets. Actually, if you didn't have a magnet, Helena, you would just be using
Your
hand.
hands.
Yeah,
That's right.
because
And
this is,
today I don't
that's
have my
what you're
magnets
using.
handy. That's right. And there's enough magnetic energy in the body with intention, because magnets intensify the intention. So
Exactly.
just using the intention
Yeah,
to release. And
right.
this is
So
how we release it.
yeah, so we work with, and all people that do energy healing work with meridians, and the governing meridian is the major one. And for us doing this, we're doing it from just above the lip to, if it's there, trapped emotion, we do it 3 times. If it's inherited, we do it 10. If the person is there, then we would run this down their back as well, all the way to the base of their spine. But since we're doing a proxy, we just do it that way with the magnet. And the most important thing, and especially because this is summer right now,
Hydration. Very important, because energy moves more freely through water. We know
exactly.
electricity moves through water, energy moves through water. So a great hydrated practitioner. If any practitioners are out there and you're not getting clear answers, yes or no answers,
Good
just
point. Yeah.
check and see if you're hydrated. And I find that my clients also during the session are wanting to drink water too.
Yeah. And water is just plain good for you, right? So just want to say hi for a few people watching today. Helena, you and I seem to get different people on our phone. So hello to one of our followers, Natasha Paula Samuel. So great that she's watching. So Barb Ashcroft is just saying, not afraid of flying, just nervous for takeoffs and landings. So yeah, of course, emotion code would work well for that. And who else do you have there that want to give a shout out to?
Permelia Parham. Good morning, Dana and Helena. And then we have a few other people watching. We'd love you to comment.
Yeah, and
Say
also
hello.
share this. Helena, often we have a gal named Chris watching, and you and I have a difficulty with her last name, right? It's Kutyna. Anyway, we had a conversation, and her name is pronounced Kutina.
Oh,
Kutina.
Kutina.
Kutina, yeah. So it ended up that she's Polish. Kutina. I said, well, my mother's Polish, right? So we just talked about names and how when a lot of people immigrated, whether they immigrated to the States or Canada, at the border, a lot of times they requested that people change their name because the people at the border were having a problem with it. So it happened to a lot of people that immigrated. So I don't actually know the correct spelling of my mother's name.
Uh, our
And
last
not only
name.
that, she's not sure when she was born,
Oh,
what day.
oh, what day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So it's like, okay, mom, they didn't have the records and all of that. But anyway,
yeah.
let's move along. So you're going to talk about just fear of flying, what it's all about. how flight attendants are trained, and I'm going to go ahead and work on Dawn because I have her permission. And I've already done my emotion code prayer because I was doing some work myself, working with the pendulum. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to unplug. You go ahead and talk about it, and I'll get to work on Dawn. I'll just tell you a little bit about her. Uh, yeah, her sort of a sixth severity when she was 21. She was afraid of flying, anxious. After she had her children, she can't sleep at the night before. She constantly thinks about death and flying. She becomes very anxious and grumpy. When she's actually on the plane, she is one of those white knuckle flyers where she's holding on to that. She can't breathe. She said it's okay once she's in the air, but she has to put all the blinds down. She doesn't want to see. And also, she does, as soon as the announcement comes on, it's just like the severity just shoots right up. And she also made the comment that she can't see what they're doing in the cockpit. So she just feels totally out of control,
Mhm.
right? So I'm going to go ahead and work on that and just see what she said. It's a 10. I'll check it. I'm pretty sure it's a 10. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do that, Helena.
Okay, good, good. Well, I've had the extreme pleasure of actually being in the cockpit in the jump seat during takeoff and landings and flights. So I do know what goes on in the cockpit at takeoff and landings. And prior to that, also is that the crew comes on board before the passengers. They are checking all the safety equipment. There is so much safety equipment on board the planes. And the pilots and co-pilots, sometimes if it's a larger plane, there's a navigator, and they have checklists. No matter how many years the pilots have been flying, they have to go through a checklist. And it is a book, and they go from A to Z. And they check that every single thing. And I'll let you know that I've been on board planes where the pilots go, we're not ready to take off. We've got a delay. They're going to call in a technician to check something because they're on that plane too. There is no way that they're going to get into an aircraft that is not safe. Not at all. The flight attendants, the amount of training that flight attendants go through is quite long and extensive, and it's not how to learn not only how to serve coffee and food. It is safety. We learn we learned we had a manual, it was this thick, tabs. It was kind of like the pilot's manual, so we had a checklist too that we were looking for, and then it also had, if there any time a situation would arise on the plane, which only a couple times in my time of flying happened, we have a manual that we go to and we start doing a checklist. So we don't have to just remember what to do. We were trained, so we have that automatic behavior, but we also have checklists. So on the plane at let's say all the passengers are now seated, the plane has been checked, all the safety equipment is on board, all the systems have been checked, the doors have been cross-checked, armed and cross-checked. Have you ever heard of that on the announcement? But that is actually they're arming the doors, so if the doors do open on the ground at any point, that the safety devices, the inflatable slides will actually open up automatically. There is always an override as well that you can manually open and release those slides. But cross-checking means that the other flight attendant has to check your work. And that's the great thing about flying. There is always a checking procedure so it's never left up to just one person. Now, when you're taking off, a great suggestion is instead of being that white knuckle flyer, if you relax your body to be like a kind of like a jello, like a sponge, like a rag doll, you won't find that you feel much of the motion of the plane because your body's just going with it. So if you're ever on a roller coaster or anywhere where it's like a little bumpy, maybe even on a boat, if you relax your body completely, the ride will seem smoother. It's a great, simple technique. The other thing too is, um, even though I'm a trained flight attendant, every plane I get on, I listen to the safety announcements. I watch the movie, I watch the flight attendants. I make sure that they know that I'm looking and paying attention. I like to connect with my flight attendants. It's something to do with rapport. I also look at the safety manual and I look around the plane. I'm looking for the safety exits. I'm looking for the illuminated fire, so the illuminated strip lighting that's on the floor that will come on automatically if the plane is darkened out. There are so many safety things. But at takeoff and landing, you will find the flight attendants very intensely focused in sitting in their jump seats, harnessed in, because at that time, that is the critical time that they want to be paying attention and they're running through their head safety procedures. And they know how to evacuate a plane very, very fast. But let me just tell you that all that preparation is so nothing has to happen. So very, very rarely does anything happen. But so consciously, here we go with the conscious mind. Consciously, I've just told you a whole bunch of analytical stuff, logical stuff, all the safety procedures, but something's going on in the subconscious mind that goes, yeah, that's really great, but I'm still nervous. Well, what Dana is doing right now is looking for the emotions, the trapped negative emotions that are bubbling up that are actually the reason that there's the nervousness and the scaredness and the fear of flying. So once those are released, then the conscious mind goes, okay, great. And all that safety information I just shared with you makes a lot of sense. I had a client one time in my office, and he had a fear of flying. And we were doing a hypnosis session. This was before I knew anything about the emotion code. And we used a technique called regression to cause. So I took the emotion that he was feeling about on his upcoming flight, and it was really nervous, and he was scared, and he was jumpy. And we took the intensity of the emotion, and what happened was is just before, this was maybe about 10 years before, his father died suddenly, unexpectedly, and he got the news just before he was boarding an aircraft. And he had to get on that plane and go on the flight. Imagine being unable to process that tragic news that your father has died, and then you need to get onto an airplane and go onto a flight. So it kind of made sense that anytime he got onto the plane in the future, because he had not processed that information at the time, it got stuck like a lemon into his body. And the trigger of the flight, of the movement of the flight and the stuff in the body was triggering a same similar feeling. And he attributed it to, oh, I'm afraid of flying. I'm afraid of the turbulence. I'm afraid of the bumpiness. No, what was going on is every time there was a bump or a turbulence in the flight, it was bringing up this emotion and it was not being able to be released. So with the hypnosis process, we were able to identify it and he was able to release it from his subconscious mind, allow his conscious mind to be a part of the answer and the solution, and they were able to move past it and release it. Now, with the emotion code, we can do work so much faster and releasing those negative trapped emotions, get the conscious mind involved, the subconscious mind releasing it, and no more fear of flying. Dana, you look like you're complete.
Yeah, it was very interesting working with Dawn and what came up. So I'll share that. Yeah, because a lot of these trapped emotions, they're just that, right? They're trapped, and until you actually get rid of them, and the processing that happens, whether it's hypnosis session that you've had with Helena or several of them, or it's emotion code that we're doing, or in future when I do the Reiki, it takes time to process these things. So with Dawn in the flying, she's not really going to know until she's ready to either book a flight or think about going away on vacation with her kids. Are they going to do that? And, I certainly want her to have a nice vacation and not. And also, there is no question she's the mother, there's a husband, and there's the kids. So just like animals, I've been watching a ton of animal Reiki videos because I really want to work with dogs and horses and that. And the energy that that's what makes more often or not a quote unquote bad dog is the energy from the owner.
Mhm.
So think of her. She's going on the flight. Kids know, oh no, what's mom going to be like or whatever, right? And, then they've got that going on, each of them. They may have their own fears. I don't know. Their fear might be more about the fear of mom flying, not about themselves flying, right? And then there's dad, and there's all the stuff you do beforehand. And, if it's a vacation, we want to make it enjoyable as we can. So, please, if that's you, seek us out and let's get this cleared up because that little bit of energy that you're feeling, it's going out and as a passenger, you're taking that into everybody in that airplane as well. And you can see in the airport too, Helena, right? Who's like, oh yeah, oh vacation time, happy, and the other people that are like,
And one of the things I notice that when I'm in an airport, and probably the flight attendant background, is people drinking lots of alcohol to calm their nerves.
good point,
And
yeah,
and it does not help because it just is now alcohol is not great with flying.
yeah.
It's just not a great combination.
Yeah, because we're talking about balancing your energy. Alcohol does not balance your energy by any means, and
You,
in
you,
many cases it's poisonous. Yeah, so the
yeah.
water, that's what you want to be drinking on the plane.
Water calms your whole system down. It allows you to think clearly, take
Yeah,
deep breaths.
the breathing, right? It gets all back to the breathing, the energy. Anyway, I'll let you
Yeah,
know what came up for Dawn. So
yeah.
when I checked in, was it 10? I got a no. It's like okay, and then I went, is it higher than a 10? Yes. It's like, okay, all right. Didn't think it was under a 10, right? I've never had it over a 10. But anyway, so first one that came up was self-abuse. And oftentimes with people, I say self-abuse can just be negative self-talk, right? Or, I'm so stupid. Why do I get so stressed? I ruined the vacation, blah, 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 whatever the story is that you're telling yourself. So then vulnerability. She had what we called two psychic traumas. So that's when Helena, we got to get another lemon, right? That's when two of them are stuck together and sort of makes one harsher. So she had anxiety and despair were trapped together, and then nervousness and worry. So it's sort of making it a stronger energy, which I did. With the magnet, that's what we're doing, right? We're demagnetizing that energy. Then lack of control, and then shock. The first time shock came up, it's actually something, so you can let me know if this is true, Dawn, if you remember anything. She's around 17 or 18, and there was a death, and I tried to do, is it family, friends, whatever, but it came up to be a celebrity, and yeah, a celebrity when she was 17 or 18. So, and the thought was, if it can happen to them, it can happen to me. So I don't know if the shock was around flying. I don't know if it was, yeah, I mean, years ago, planes were not as safe, and a lot of small planes, we know that. So just let me know if that's, but it was definitely shock. And then you got the next one was shock as well, but this shock was inherited from your grandfather. So your father's father on your father's side. So I did 10 swipes to get rid of that. And then resentment, overwhelm, and terror. Yeah, so those are the ones. So just let us know, Dawn, if that helped. But it's interesting because the angel card that I pulled today is patience. So remember too, with the processing, some of these things will take longer. I know that Helena has a fabulous stop smoking program that's his hypnosis, and she can get results in a very, very short time. And we can as well with emotion code. Um, And I'm actually going to have to go back in because I forgot to check the severity of how much it had gone down for Dawn. So I will do that after. I'll put it in. But yeah, patience, it's Archangel Jophiel. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. So, maybe Dawn is thinking about taking a longer flight or something like that, but just know that the processing will take a little bit of time there. Oh, and Helena, I wanted to update people about the snake.
I was going to ask.
So Helena did that several sessions back, right? I want to see which one was it. It was Fear of Animals. So episode 25. So I stepped up because I have fear of snakes. I don't see snakes in my life. I don't even know why I have that fear, but I think of really big snakes, not so much a garden snake or something. But I did see that poisonous snake in Australia when I was in my 20s, so maybe, right out my back door. So maybe that got lodged then, right? A fear of that. Anyway, since that day, it doesn't matter, I could be looking at something on Facebook, snake picture comes up. I pick up a novel, the first page talked about snakes. I just went, seriously? Then I opened up a book, looking at YouTube videos for the Reiki healing and all of that. There's another snake video. I went, okay, what is this all about? So I looked it up. I did a little post in our session as well, and it said that snakes are actually all about transformation. And they're all about new realities because snakes shed their skin. And so when they do that, they create something new. So I thought, okay, I can, and interesting, I haven't seen a snake or read anything about snakes since then. So, so it just shows you the processing. Nobody can say what that energy healing process is going to be about or how it's going to come into your life or where it's going to show up. Same with hypnosis. Once you start to get down to those feelings, we don't know, but we do know, and we do have the confidence that there will be a shift. What that will look like is not really our responsibility. And I know, Helena, tell them a little bit about the stop smoking, because I know you told me that about people, that if they're not ready and they don't do their work, so what do you expect, right? You've been smoking for 50 years,
Yep, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I have a conversation with people beforehand. It's, do you want to stop? And what are your reasons for stopping? Because if your doctor wants you to do it, or you feel or you're doing it for your partner or whatever, it just won't work, because in the end, it is all about what you want to do.
It's all about intention. Everything is intention.
Right. And so at the end of my sessions, I remind my clients that to keep that forward focused thinking about what they want and how they want to be. And sometimes there's like a little echo. And in the past, people go, oh, there's an echo. It's like, I got to have a cigarette. No, you don't. You can let go of it and just forward think to what you really want.
Right.
And so after a couple of days, some people are instantaneous and some people take a day or two or a couple of days for them just to let go and go, wow, I did it. This is it.
Yeah.
I'm
exactly.
free.
Yeah, that's great. So just before we wrap up, just want to say hi to Kelly May Glover. Thanks so much for watching, Kelly. We appreciate that. And Dawn, Kelly May is asking about ice cream.
Yeah, Kelly, actually, we had a emotion code hypnosis session just a little while ago.
Oh,
and
fabulous.
Yeah, and so wow, that's great. She wanted to do the no ice cream for except for one day a month. And congratulations, Kelly, you're doing it.
Great,
It's
Kelly.
fantastic.
Yeah. And I personally am not that much of an ice cream person. The only time I eat ice cream is usually in the summertime, right? And it has to be hot. So, but I know some people that they get a pint or a quart of ice cream, and it's some of that, of course, is addictive eating and that sort of thing, which we have that on other episodes as well. But that's great news, Kelly. So Dawn is watching. Dawn Brew and I worked on her. So Dawn, we're just finishing up the show, so you may have to go back and listen to the replay. It's sort of towards the end. I've asked you some questions in there as well, so please answer those. And also those emotions releasing those should just help you feel a little bit calmer about it, and hopefully be part of calming down your family as well about that. So Helena, how can people reach you?
Well, today I'm noticing that I have a different website address on
Yes,
my
yeah.
screen. Yes. I was working with Michael Lozier actually last week, and we were talking about the emotion code and stop smoking. So you can reach me at thestopsmokinglady.com or flourishhypnosis.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, everywhere.
Well, we are not called the Divas for no reason. Okay, just saying. All right. So you can find me at danasmithers.com or empoweredwomeninbusiness.com. That's my YouTube channel as well. I have a lot of Emotion Code Diva show on it, a lot of law of attraction shows, and also with my law of attraction gratitude journal, I have been doing weekly tips for the 52 weeks that are in there. I think I'm at week 43 or something this week. So if you want a little bit more information, just go to Empowered Women in Business in YouTube and you'll find us. So next week we are talking about, and we're looking for somebody, fear of attending social events.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this could be picnics happening in the summer, family things. It could be networking, anything like that where it's just like you don't like to do it, you just want to fade into the background, but it's not going to happen. So if that's you, let us know, PM Helena or myself, and we'll do a session as we did today. And next week I'm going to be talking about law of attraction and your mindset. So that's going to be the education piece. Why do you keep attracting the same things when you said you don't want to? All right, then. Have yourselves an awesome day. Happy summer to everybody. And please share because, as we said, this is a fairly new program still, and we want to help as many people as we can out there. So that's it for now. Bye for now.